If you were to count all the times that you set goals and didn't complete them, what would you think of yourself? You'd be disappointed, right? Upset? Angry? Well, the good news is that it isn't your fault. Welcome back to Your Life Code. I'm your host, and today we will be diving into how perfectionism is the enemy of progress and how in this overcomplicated generation, you can find comfort in the simple steps that help you achieve the most growth. Today we will be covering 3 anchor points that make up 80% of change in your life. The 3 secrets to real unfiltered growth and progress. Let's dive in. Point 1. I firmly believe that to truly grow means to trust yourself. For example, if you're constantly setting new, hard, complicated goals for yourself, but you never actually stick to them, you are slowly sabotaging your own self-trust. Why should you stick to this new 30-day challenge when you know you've quit every other one? Why should you go for a run when you know it never lasts? Why should you do this when you know it'll end in that? The human brain recognizes patterns from the actions done in the past. You know to grab a sweet treat from the fridge after a hard day at work because that's what you do every other day. This is just like with goals and promises. If you've broken them or quit on yourself in the past, then you are scientifically more likely to break it in the future, which damages your pride, self-confidence, and superego. Now you may be thinking, well, how can I fix this? And that's exactly what I am here to tell you. You need to implement 3 easy foundational habits in the 3 different areas of your self-improvement journey. Body, mind, and lifestyle. No crazy, complicated 75 hard challenges, just 3 simple rituals that set you up for success. These won't look like or even feel like accomplishments at first. These will look like small, actionable habits that you will use daily, your non-negotiables, your foundation. As a society, we are so used to seeing dopamine rush videos telling us how to reinvent ourselves in 24 hours when that is just not how it works. You need to start with the basics before you can ever get anywhere else. For example, for the lifestyle criteria, instead of doing a 30-day challenge, it could be as simple as making your bed every day if you don't already do that. Then how could you ever expect to stick to something harder? For the body criteria, it could be making sure you get 7 to 8 hours of sleep per night. For the mind criteria, it could be 5 minutes of journaling per day, no matter what. This is going to look different for everybody, so I highly recommend taking some time to really think about what you need right now. Yes, it may sound more exciting and motivating to hit the gym for 2 hours every day to become fit super fast, but do you actually have the strength to do that yet? Or are you just stuck in an all or nothing mindset where you must go from 0 to 100? Point 2. You are what you eat. We hear this message everywhere, and yet it always seems so easy to ignore and blame the outside issues on other problems. Now, I'm not a certified health expert. I have studied a Bachelor of Health Science degree and devoted most of my adult free time into researching different diets. I started dieting 14 years ago. I've tried everything from a hardcore vegan to hardcore carnivore. I've probably tried over 15 different diets. And what I can tell you is that they do not work. What does work is eating based on your own needs. Everyone is different, so different things will work on different people. In further videos, I will discuss this in further depth, but today I'll just keep it simple. It's all good and well for me to sit here and tell you to eat healthily like everyone else, but what does that actually mean? No, it does not mean cutting out all sugar and carbs. No, it does not mean eating only sugar and carbs or only meat or only veggies. Different people have different needs, so obviously experiment and do what feels right to you, but never heavily restrict yourself. Instead, you need to take small steps. I would recommend asking yourself every day, what would my dream self do right now? What would my healthiest self do? Picture this. Currently, you get up in the morning, then comes breakfast. Leftover cookies or make a healthy meal? The cookies are easier, more rewarding and satisfactory in the moment, but you know that the meal would be more beneficial. Great. But how's that hot version of you looking right now? Does she even exist in your future? Not if you keep choosing to feed your current identity bad food, it doesn't. If this doesn't help, then you could try preparing a healthy breakfast the night before to eliminate temptation. You could hide the snack food to have on special occasions out of sight so you're less likely to touch it. Even right before you bite into a Mars bar, tell yourself out loud, I am about to eat this Mars bar, even though I don't need it and it hurts my health. Not telling yourself not to, just stating it, putting it out there. Even ask yourself why you're doing it. Are you binging because you're hungry or emotional? Are you snacking because you're hungry or you just want to feel different? You'll be surprised at how much these small changes help with your self-control. These are all methods scientifically backed by evidence and will help you get where you want to be. Point 3. But you can't get where you want to be if you aren't in the right mindset. Let me ask you a question. How often daily would you say you think poorly of yourself? Be honest. How many times does that little voice in your head go, I can't do it, or I'll never be like them, or I'm not enough? Ideally, we would all like to say we're fully confident in ourselves, but are we? And how do our thoughts reflect that? This is all about mindset, which I would argue should be your first priority to long-term growth and longevity. In my personal experience, I've learned that the only goals I've been able to see to completion are my ones of a recent nature. Coincidentally, recently I have been really knuckling down on my mindset and how I speak to myself. Now, don't get me wrong, it is not an easy feat to switch from a fixed, not open to change, closed off, stuck in your own negative thought patterns mindset to a growth, optimistic, open to improvement, and gracious thinking one. This will be a lifetime commitment and yet perhaps the only way to get the results you want and make them last. There was an experiment conducted by Dr. Emoto where he had 2 containers of rice. One was labeled the hate rice and one the love rice. Every day he would go over to the hate rice and say mean things to it, yell at it, curse, call it names, whatever. And every day he would go over to the love rice and shower it in positive affirmations. And the surprising thing is that the hate rice turned moldy way before the love rice did. This experiment has been recreated hundreds of times and the results are always the same. The hate rice goes moldy and the love rice stays fresh. If words can affect a dish of rice so easily, then who are we to say that mean affirmations don't affect us in the same way? Doesn't our self-confidence and self-esteem turn moldy when we say negative things? Don't we feel better when we're told something nice, which then leads us to seek validation from others? Well, what we can gather from this experiment is how much power is truly behind our language. If we tell ourselves positive and uplifting things, then we can grow. But if we keep feeding ourselves lies, then all that will accomplish is further decline. So in conclusion, if you have been stuck wondering why you're never progressing, never growing, then I really hope you found some useful insight in this video. All references will be in the description and I post a new video every week or so. Thank you so much for tuning in on this episode of Your Life Code and I can't wait to help you along your journey. I'm your host, signing off.